Joining us this afternoon is the head coach of the Jacksonville Indians, Coach Montey Stevenson. Coach, how are we doing today?
Man, I'm doing well, and thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about how you ended up in Jacksonville. You were hired on February 18th to be the head coach. So talk to me a little bit about your journey and how you ended up in Jacksonville.
Man, it wasn't even on my radar. We had some success at Alvarado those past few years, and I've always talked to Casey about being the head coach and what those things look like. And then, one day we're sitting in the office. He goes, "You know what, man? Jacksonville pops up," and he goes, "That would be a good place." And I go, "Really?" So he talked to me about it and told me about the tradition of Jacksonville and how great of a place it is. So I ended up applying for it, getting a phone call, coming down and meeting with a committee. Like I said, that I could see myself in place of becoming. Like I saw my superintendent there. I saw the principals, the APs. It felt just like being back in Alvarado again. And that sold me. And I went back to Alvarado, had to talk with Casey, like, "Hey, this is a place where I can see myself and my family at for a long time." And I'm thankful and I'm lucky that I applied for it and got the chance to be here because it's been exciting so far.
Well, yeah, so tell me about what these past few months have been like since you came in February and kind of getting integrated into the system
Sure.
in Jacksonville and learning the community and all that. What has these past few months been like for you?
It's going 100 miles an hour. I think I've met each and every person in this community. Everybody has been so welcoming, giving me people who I need to talk to in regards to resources that I may need in this place. And coming in end of February, hitting the ground running, telling the kids about what things should and what things will look like, and changing the culture here and getting the right people that's around them, because I want coaches and kids, I want kids to see coaches that they can see themselves becoming. So the hiring process has been great. We're fully staffed. But since the end of February until now, everything has been great. And again, I'm excited to be here.
Well, let's talk a little bit about last year. I know you weren't here last year at Jacksonville. One and
Sure.
nine season for them, and like you said, Jacksonville has a very rich tradition. But these past few years have fallen
Sure.
on some hard times. So, like to your point, changing the culture and all that. But what have you seen on film from last year that maybe you liked that you saw on film that you want to take over into this season?
And so what I have seen on film is that these kids play extremely hard. And so since we've been practicing and the start of this week, we told them, like, don't change who you are. You continue to play hard. Don't change that aspect. One thing we have done a better job of and will do is communicating with each other. Don't assume that your teammates know exactly what's going on. So we have a huge emphasis on taking care of your brothers, play in and play out. And then if they can do that on top of playing hard, they can change the trajectory of this football program.
Well, I want to talk to you about the district too, because it's a tough district that you're
Yeah,
dropped
it's not
into.
easy.
It's not easy, absolutely. You got Texas High, Marshall, White House, teams like that in there that are really good 5A football teams. What's your thoughts on the
Sure.
district as a whole?
You know what? When I looked at it, I compared that to what I was used to back at home. So we had to play Stephenville, we had to play China Spring, we had to play Waco La Vega, and that was a state champ after state champ after state champ. So I'm okay with our district knowing that, okay, I've been around this before. It's preparing our kids what games like this is going to look like and what you need to prepare for. So I see it as a challenge, but a good challenge. But it doesn't bother me at all that we're in a tough district. Like I said, personally, I'm used to it. It's just getting our kids prepared for those matches.
Well, talk to me about your time at Alvarado. Obviously, the Alvarado Indians over there had some success as well at that
Sure.
time. So,
Yeah.
talk to me about your time there and how you can take what you learned at Alvarado and take it over here to Jacksonville.
I mean, that's a really good question because prior to us going to Alvarado, they were 2-8, 2-8, and 2-8. So it's very similar to where I'm in, and now it's why it's so exciting for them because we were expected not to win back at home at Alvarado. So only thing that we did there is we didn't talk about how many games we were going to win. We talked about how we were going to do it, which was that preparation. The same thing that I'm preaching here. Don't know how many games we're going to win, but I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. And then being back at home that first season, we were not expected to go 5-7. We were not expected to make the playoffs in that tough district, and we did that. And then the second year, we ended up winning 2 more games and going 7-5. Then that last year, we ended up going 13-1 and losing to the eventual state champion. So it's bringing that exact same mindset that we had back at home, just bringing that to Jacksonville. So you're never counted out of a football game. Don't let what the magazine and the outside people have to say about what your season is going to be. It's our preparation. It's all about us. So I care about right now is us being the most disciplined team. And normally if you're disciplined, success starts to come. So we'll see what that looks like.
Absolutely. And now you're playing at you get to play your home games at one of the most famous stadiums in the state of Texas, the Tomato Bowl.
That's it. Yeah.
What do you know about the Tomato Bowl, and what did you know about the venue before you came to Jacksonville, and how excited are you to kind of get to play in a traditional stadium like that?
I knew bits and pieces of it, again, talking to Casey back home. And I didn't know at one point that Alvarado and Jacksonville actually had some type of scrimmage some years back. And I didn't know that until somebody brought that to my attention. But I heard about the atmosphere and what it looked like. And of course, didn't do it justice until I got a chance to be here for myself. But now the pressure seems to be on. We got the #1 stadium in Texas. Now we got to have a good product out there on the field. But it's a great venue. I love being a part of something like this, and I'm looking forward to being #1 in that stadium, but also having a good product on the field as well.
It's going to be exciting on Friday nights to have the Tomato Bowl filled up and watching those games. It's going to be an exciting time.
It is, absolutely.
One more thing I want to ask you before I let you get out of here. You got 6 starters coming back on offense, 5 starters coming back on defense. What are your expectations? I know you talked about when you were at Alvarado, you were kind of taking over a program that had fallen on some hard times as well. So what are your expectations for this first year?
Man, so I want us to be the most disciplined team that this Jacksonville community has ever seen. Again, I don't want to talk about how many games we're going to win. I mean, I know I look at our schedule and I can see, okay, there's some chances here to do something that hasn't been done in Jacksonville in quite some time. But my only expectation for these guys is, can you be more disciplined than you were years before we got here? And I'll measure that success by the input from the community and the staff here. They know more than I do what's happened prior to me coming here. So if I continue to hear, okay, hey, this is changing here, this is for the better, hey, I like what I'm seeing, I know we're headed in the right direction. But again, that all goes back to us being a more disciplined football team than we were a year ago.
I love that, Coach. I've enjoyed this conversation with you, and I'm looking forward to the season this year for Jacksonville. I'm excited to see what you can do there. Best of luck to the Indians, and we will talk to you down the road, Coach.
Thank you, love it. Thank you for having me again.
Yes.